Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritually Fucked podcast. I'm your host, Taylor Mulholland. Let's get into the show. Kambosita, Kambo. Hello, everyone. It's me, your favorite combo facilitator person. And today we are talking about my favorite guest, and that is Kambo, the Kambo spirit. And why am I talking about this today? Well, because it's my podcast and I can. And also, I get a lot of questions about Kambo. I'm obsessed with it. It is personally my favorite medicine. For me, in my eyes, it is the go-to all medicine for mind, body, spirit. And so I'm going to talk about my experience, what called me to it, and also that it is not for everyone. And I'm not saying that you need Kambo in any way. I'm not saying everyone should do it. I am just sharing my experience. And if you feel called, you feel a radical callness, then explore it a little bit. But again, this is not for everyone. It's a very intense medicine. I'm just sharing because I fucking love it, and also because I'm a facilitator. And if you are here in Boulder, Colorado, I would love to talk to you about it if you are curious. And I have seen a lot of my friends explore it deeper just by me sharing my experience. So if I can help someone in the way that Kambo helped me, then I have done my job, and I am just here to share. And also that not one medicine is better than the other, and everyone's called to different things, and you don't even need medicine. There's been points in my life where, and kind of where I'm at now, I mean, Kambo will always be up there as my favorite, but everyone just needs meditation if they want to heal. Like, I've had the most incredible healings through meditation, and maybe I'll do a podcast on that next, but today's about Kambo. And the froggies have been really popping up in my life lately, and not in a way that I need more Kambo myself, but maybe I just need to talk about it more and embody my Kambo facilitatorness, because I've sat now 30 times, and so one time for every year around the sun. And I went pretty intense with Kambo because A, I fell in love with it, and B, I'm a fucking intense person. I'm going to do it. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it fully. And, there were probably some ceremonies where I was doing too much, but, that was part of my process. And I have had that relationship built with the medicine where I did do the extreme, and I have found balance through that. And it's just when you surrender or sign up for any sort of medicine, you will get exactly what you need out of it, regardless of the experience. Regardless if it was quote unquote textbook perfect experience, doesn't matter. You will get exactly what you need from it. And I have even gotten some incredible healings from saying I'm going to sit with Kambo and then not sitting with Kambo. And we're going to all talk about that. But I first want to talk about how it came into my life. And the first time I ever heard about Kambo was I was at an ayahuasca retreat in Costa Rica. Don't you love when stories start off like that? Yeah, so I was at Soltara, and there's this guy here who was a facilitator for ayahuasca, and he showed me his leg, and it had like 100 burn marks, and it was just like row after row after row, and he said it was Kambo, and that was the first time I heard about it, and then literally never thought about it again. And the end of 2022, the beginning of 2023, my acne, you guys, it was fucking tragic. Look at my skin now, it's perfect. If you're on YouTube, get a good look at that. And if you're not on YouTube, you can go to my Instagram. I don't edit any of my photos anymore. My skin is perfect now, and I spent a lot of hard work getting here. And we can talk about that in another podcast. But I had a pizza face, and it was bad. It looked fungal. It literally was fungal, probably like candida face. It looked like on my chin, my cheeks. It was just eating my face alive. And I've tried everything at this point. Externally, everything. Well, and internally, but fucking chemical peels, facials. I was spending an arm and a leg on every skincare product. You know, I'm feeding my body great. I'm not eating gluten, dairy, corn, soy, wheat, all the fucking quote unquote right things I was doing. And my skin just was horrible. And so Kambo came to mind. I don't know if I saw it somewhere, read it somewhere. I just thought about it. Okay? Maybe it called me. Maybe the frog literally called me in my sleep. And so I thought about it. And then at this time, I was doing 5 weeks off Instagram. Let's just start off with that. I was not on Instagram for like 5 fucking weeks. And during this time, I was like, I want to go on Instagram. I'm not kidding you. The third story I saw was my friend posting about Kambo ceremony. And I was like, what the fuck? That's so weird. I'm so intrigued. And so I think I went to that facilitator's profile and I saved her page, or I saved a post or something. I clocked it in. This was the beginning of 2023. So just remember that. It really doesn't matter. But this was 2 years ago. Oh my God, this was 3 years ago. Fuck. I'm getting old. I'm 29. Anyways, Saturn return. Okay, so back to the story. I clocked it in and then I forgot about it. And then I meet with this girl who I have not met with in 10 years. We haven't seen each other since high school. I sit down with her and she starts telling me about her Kambo experience. And I'm like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me? What is with this frog? Like, this is coming in my field. I would call this being quote unquote called. And not that I have any right to say what is a calling and what it's not, but that for me was a calling. And so I went home and I said, please send me this your facilitator in Phoenix. She doesn't send me it. I think she was traveling a bunch, and anyways, I didn't want to bug her, okay? I was just like, okay, she didn't send it. I'm going to go find this on my own. A week later, I'm sitting with Kambo, and I actually wasn't sitting with the person who went to lunch with, and she was going to send me her facilitator, who ended up not sending me her facilitator, which ended up being a fucking blessing because I wasn't meant to sit with that facilitator. And so I went home after that date and I looked through my Instagram and I had to do some deep searching. I'm like, I know Cameron, the girl who posted about it, was posting about Kambo. Like, where can I find this post? Like, I remember it took a long time digging, and I think I literally had to go to Cameron's profile and like fucking find this girl. Anyways, find this girl. I message her, hey, I want to see you because my acne. This was the intention, was my acne, because I looked at Kambo at the time as like physical, like it's antibacterial, it's antiparasitic, like it helps cleanse and detox and purge. And I'm like, I need a purge. Give me that purge, baby. So I signed up, and I think a week later I was sitting, and then I posted on my story, and then my friend who I went to lunch with was like, wow, that was quick. And I'm like, well, I was called, and it fell into my lap. And this is kind of how I was called to ayahuasca in the first place, is it just, everything fell into my lap, and that's how medicine should be, period. Really anything in life, it's, you get a calling or a heart's desire, and you set it out there, the intention, and then, maybe you'll have to do some work, like some Instagram deep diving, but it will naturally unravel as it should. And I met this facilitator, and obviously we fell in love. She's literally a soul family now. I have goosebumps thinking about it, and it could make me cry. But I sat with Kambo, and the first time I have tears in my eyes that I feel coming. It was the most amazing experience, and that was the moment I was like, this is the medicine I've been waiting for. And it was so sensational, as in the sensations were fucking insane. Like, you feel so deeply and intense. And how I experience Kambo is I'm going to explain how the ceremonies go later, but how I experienced that first ceremony is like very euphoric and then very intense. And then I purged, and throughout my ayahuasca experience, I was most excited about the purging part of ayahuasca. And you guys, I didn't purge once. I sat with ayahuasca 4 times in a week and I didn't puke or shit one time. And so, talk about purging, I was so holding back. Like, my throat was so closed. Like, it was an example and a reflection of a lot of things I was holding back. But I I purged in Kambo and I was like, okay, that's fucking amazing. And then just the sensation and the experience I felt in my body was so intense. And then it's like at the end of the ceremony, you feel fucking amazing because you're full of these peptides, you're light, the sun's coming out, it's Arizona, and you feel so light and energized. And before Kambo, you do have to follow a dieta, and obviously, like, I eat so clean, so I didn't have to do that much dieta, but I cut caffeine out for the first time in 10 years. So that is one of the protocols. It's recommended to cut caffeine out. And I was like, wait, do I have to? What? Like, I have to cut caffeine out? Oh my God, I drink coffee every day. Can I drink black tea? Like, I was asking all the questions. And then I was like, wait, I want to respect the medicine. And this is how I'll explain more at the end too, like how to respect the medicine and like why dieta is a protocol in it. And I cut caffeine out for the first time. And it wasn't even that fucking hard. And then I was like, I don't even want to drink caffeine because I feel so alive. I feel so energized. And that was the first ceremony. And then I sat 2 more times after that. So it's recommended to do 3 sits in a moon cycle. So 3 sits in like 30 days. And I think I did one every weekend for 3 weeks. And I was just like, wow, this is way deeper than the physical properties I thought this was for. Like, it's both. Like, I went for the physicality. Like, I needed my acne clear. That was my intention. Like, I want to purge. I want to release whatever's trying to fucking come out of my face. Like, I want beautiful skin. But the layers under that unraveled through this medicine, because it works on a physical, energetic, soul level. It was so magnificent. Okay? I'm just going to say that. And, later down the line, I started doing more Kambo and realizing that this acne was this metaphysical mask I was wearing. It was a manifestation of a mask I was wearing to hide myself from who I was authentically, my vulnerability. Just think about what wearing a mask is. You're masking yourself, you're hiding. That's what I was doing. And I was able to uncover this through the medicine's properties on a spiritual level, which, hello, it works on a physical level too. And so not only are the peptides working on a physical level, they're detoxing your organs and killing parasites and, doing the shit that Kambo does on a physical level, but that is in direct relation with your soul and your spiritual healing, because it is all one, like as above, so below, but like as your soul, as your body, it's working on an energetic level, it's working on a physical level. And to me, oops, did you hear that little squeak? That was my microphone that I love, my new microphone I love. That for me was the all medicine, because, okay, I'm getting the peptides, the immunity boost, the detoxing, the parasitic flush, whatever. I'm purging, and it's also working on me on a spiritual level, like the spirit of Kambo. It just made sense for me. That's when I fell in love. And so I just started sitting more out of curiosity. And of course, I became dedicated, not only to the medicine, but to myself. And, Kambo is not an easy breezy experience. It's really quick. So it's like a cold plunge where you get in it and it's super fucking raw and uncomfortable. But when you get out, you feel amazing. And it's just within those minutes that you are sitting with the medicine that it feels really uncomfortable. But it's like a cold, I used to tell people, it's like, what does it feel like? Well, it's like a cold plunge, but you're on fire. And, ceremony looks different for everyone. You don't need it to be intense. And speaking of intensity, I I did take a very intense approach to it because I was like, I want more, more, more. I experienced such profound experiences within these like three ceremonies or these 3 moon cycles. I ended up signing up for, I did 6 or 9. I just did 3 per month for months in a row. So March 3, April 3, May 3. Like I just kept doing it because I was like, I'm having such rapid healing. I was experiencing like evolution in myself, in my body. It felt like I was finally stripping the layers that I was holding on to for so long. Like this was the year, 2023 was the rawest fucking year of my life. And I do miss it. I miss the pain, the intense feelings, the emotions. I felt so much in 2023. And my heart was it was being cracked open. And I miss that feeling because it's like one of those feelings that you only get to experience once. And it was like my heart was in this glass box for so long, and that glass box was finally being cracked. And I'm sure throughout my life I will experience more uncoverings and more unravelings, but 2023 was the year that I was being exposed in ways that were just rapid. I was rapidly being exposed, and this medicine was really like skyrocketing in that. And I was becoming aware of all the things I was holding on, and I was just raw. It was a raw experience. And so I wrote a lot that year. I mean, I wrote fucking books. I have 3 books coming out of 2023, you guys. Like, I wrote so much. I was just shedding and stripping and experiencing, and I felt so much because what the medicine does is it brings up a lot. Not even in ceremony. I mean, in ceremony, you're feeling a lot, but afterwards, like, the spirit's with you. It's what's unraveling. You're raw and exposed, and that is not always comfortable, and shit comes up. And so I was like, this is the best. And so I signed up for training. I wanted to be a facilitator, and I remember going to the training being like, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here. And I think this was how yoga teacher training was too, is I did it out of my own selfishness. I just wanted to go and learn about it. I wanted to experience. I just kind of was following my intuition. And isn't that funny how when you follow your intuition, everything just makes sense later? Logically, it didn't make sense. So I was receiving the medicine, and then I said, let's learn how to receive it. And so I went to training and, just obviously fell in love more. I met the most amazing people in my entire life. I mean, talk about fucking soul family. Like, this is like ancient friendships. And that was resonance for me. And so I did training. And then after training, I just, a lot happened in 2023. I went to a Joe Dispenza event for the first time, and then I did Kambo training, and then I went to a second Joe Dispenza event that year, and just a lot. I was full signing up. Thank God I had money. Shit. Thank God I worked at a strip club. This is the funny caveat, is the reason I had all this money is because I worked at a strip club as a waitress for like 8 months. It wasn't that long, but that's the polarities of life, people. That's bridging the sacred and the silly, or the sacred and the human. Is I worked at a strip club making money off of selling people's bodies. I mean, I wasn't selling my own body. I was selling alcohol. But again, I was selling alcohol, like, not great. And then I spent that money and used it for my healing. And that is balance, baby. That is being human, and it's sacred. So there's a polarity for you. There's duality for you in this fun life. So yeah, I was spending money on combo training, and Joe Dispenza, and just living life. And I did up level a lot in 2023, and that's great. But I had this acne. So I'm sitting with Kambo, And I sat 9 times by now. I think it was 12. After training, it was 12 times. And that's a lot for 1 year. That is a lot. And I'll talk about this at the end. I know I'm keeping you hanging, but I'll talk about like why that is kind of a little bit too much and stuff at the end. But back to Taylor's story. So let's see. I still had acne after training, and in all my training photos, like my acne was fucking like, it was on fire. Like it was the worst it's ever been. So I go to sit with Kambo for my acne. I sit 12 times. My acne is the worst it's ever been. But I'm experiencing this profound soul shift. I'm evolving on a soul level. But my human self, my body was not looking the way I was intending to when I started going to Kambo. So I was drawn to Kambo for the physicality of it, but I was receiving all the medicine on the spiritual level. So there's a way to look at it. If you are called to anything, just, even if you are called for the physical reasons, like that doesn't mean it's bad. It brought you there and it sat you down. And so after training, after Joe Dispenza, I said, I think I'm going to take a little break. Let's integrate Taylor. And a month later, my skin was healed. I am not kidding you, you guys. I have a 1 month difference photo, and it was like revolutionary. So whether it was the 12th ceremony or what, I gave myself the rest. I said, I'm going to rest. And my skin healed. And it has never, ever looked like it did back in 2023. Like it was like that was it. And what I learned from that is I kept seeking this purging, this stripping, take all these impurities out, get them out, purge, throw up. Because you do throw up in Kambo if you didn't know that. You also do the other bottom purge too, which is, if you get the both, that's great. That's like the Queen of Thrones. I said, what if I stopped trying to strip myself and I started to sit with myself? Do you like that? Or what if I start to nourish myself? And that month of nourishment healed. And I do believe the Joe Dispenza work really fucking tied in. That came in clutch. My acne at Joe Dispenza was embarrassing. It was like, I remember being so embarrassed of it. And so that was one of my intentions, was to just heal my acne, heal the mask, like remove the mask. And so, I sat with Kambo 12 times. And then I said, I'm going to take a break from the medicine. I'm just going to nourish my body, myself, and my skin healed. Weird how that happens when you start to nourish and or love yourself. Skin heals. And I do have a guide on my website called The Spiritual Guide to Acne. It's a 3-part video where I talk about, why we break out on our face, ways to, uncover and journal maybe why you are breaking out, and then also like the products that I use, because I do think products are huge. And so if you are interested in acne specific and you don't feel called or resonance to Kambo, you can go to my website. It's, I think, $55. It's a lot of loaded information, but it's called The Spiritual Guide to Acne. If you have questions, hit me up. You can see the before and after photos. Like, it's fucking crazy. Never did Accutane, like never did any sort of skincare routine. Like, I don't even wash my face anymore. I wash my face once a day and it's with oil. So you don't need insane products. I don't wear sunscreen. That's another thing. I let the sun heal my skin. This is going to be another podcast, but there's that. I then just kept updating myself with Kambo whenever I felt called, because I did go a little hard. I did go a little hard in 2023. I was stripping and shedding a lot. I was very thin. I just prefer to be thin because I feel light. And if you look at pictures of me when I was like a teenager, like my natural body shape is actually really thin. And so obviously I want like strong muscles and stuff, but like I just am thin. And I just was really, really thin in 2023, and I was doing a lot of combo and fasting, and I was just like fucking done with myself. So I just kept trying to strip the layers. And though there were a lot of layers that needed to be stripped, but I think there was a point when went a little bit too hard. And then that's when I learned the lesson of nourishment and loving yourself and pulling back. And yeah, so that was 2023. And then come 2024, I just sat with it. I had the medicine box at home, which I personally, I don't know, I like sitting with myself, but I love to sit with others. And every facilitator offers such different medicine. And I loved sitting with new facilitators and new people. And I loved sitting with my best friends because you do go really deep when you do have that second sitter with you, someone watching you, someone who can catch you if you fall, like literally if you pass out, which I pass out sometimes. And you can't really, or you can go that hard by yourself, but it's nice to have someone there. And so I would sit with myself. Like if I was at home, I was like, oh, I need a little combo boost. I would give myself a little combo boost. It would be like a very small amount. And then whenever I was in Arizona, I would sit with my friends just when I felt like I needed a little extra support, or I wanted to sit with an intention, or I just needed a boost. And I do prefer sitting 3 within a moon cycle. I think if you're going to do it, it's not just like a one and done thing. For me, at least, I like to personally sit 3 times. Like I want to go deep, and 3 times is a deep cycle. And you might not ever do it again after that, and that's great. But give it 3 times, I would say. And it's a very, very affordable medicine compared to other medicines I've personally seen people recommend or sell. And you guys, it's a lot cheaper than medical insurance, that's for sure. Not saying what's right or wrong, I'm just saying my experience. But I just do updated sessions now. And yeah, when I mentioned how sometimes when you like book a session or you say you're going to sit with combo and you actually don't really sit with the medicine, you just set that intention and then you still get like the spirit of the medicine or like such huge, profound experiences from it. It's because it's, again, like you're committing to receive from that medicine, whether you physically receive from it or not. And I've had this experience when I've told myself I'm going to sit, and then I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to sit anymore, or like I don't feel like sitting, or my body it's usually my body, like, because your mind can talk you out of anything, and combo is an easy one to talk yourself out of, because you're like, I don't feel like puking, I don't feel like my skin being on fire, like I don't want to do it. And so I learned this dance between really talking yourself out of it and also getting a no from your body. And when your body says it's a no, that's when you should radically listen. And that's kind of the experience I've learned this year. And the intensity with combo doesn't always equal healing. And here's a big lesson that I've learned is intensity doesn't always equal healing. And because combo is a really intense medicine, it can be at some times. And the ceremonies I've felt the best after were the most intense. And so your mind gets used to operating on this formula that if you go in and it's intense, you're going to get a good healing out of it, which has been the case in my experience. I still remember and like can sit with the sensation of the days where I literally puked up dark green bile and was shitting out of my butt. I don't know. I was shitting on the toilet and I was puking in a bucket, and I had the most incredible purge of my life, and it was an intense ceremony, and it was a fucking ecstasy after. I just felt so good. So you get in the habit of thinking, or at least I did, I need that experience to get the most out of this ceremony. And that's just a false way of trying to control your ceremonies. And so I've sat with this medicine enough. I kind of know, at least from my experience, some things. And, intensity doesn't always equal healing. And so I would go into these ceremonies thinking I needed this insane purge or this insane feeling or all this medicine to receive what, or to maximize my healing. And this was actually the lesson I learned at the end of last year, sitting with myself, is that you don't need to quote unquote maximize your healing. Your healing will unravel necessary when it's in its natural rhythm and when you allow it and when you're open to curiosity. And I get so stuck in my ways. Like if I say one thing, I'm going to fucking do it. Or if I don't do it this way, like I have been in the past, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. That is the frame I was operating out of. And Kambo has taught me that that is absolutely false. And when you remain curious to anything, whether it is medicine or life or relationships, I just lost my track because my iPad gave me a notification. I'll just go back to when you remain curious. When you open yourself up and you remain curious to life or relationships or anything, that's when you're opening yourself to everything and anything can come through. And what I mean by that is if you have this certain formula, or I don't know why I'm talking science, or equation that you are going into something with and you are expecting a certain result, you're limiting yourself to so much. And so when you remain curious or open to anything can come through. And so I was coming into these ceremonies like, it needs to be intense, it needs to be this, it needs to be that, I need to get this green purge or else I'm not going to maximize my healing. And that's an illusion. So healing will happen when you're open to it and you don't close yourself off, or you don't go into it with certain expectations. And expectations is a great word because intentions and expectations should be absolutely separate. Your intention is the energy you are going into the experience with. It should not be what you are wanting to extract from it. And the hardest part about sitting with these medicines was always like, I don't know my intention. You know, I'm a very open, free person. I'm probably the most indecisive person in the world. I'm trying not to be, but I have a lot of personalities. I want everything in life. And so having a certain decision or intention, it just would mess me up. And so a lot of my ceremonies were just, I want to surrender to the medicine. And my facilitator would be like, let's get a little deeper into that. And I'm like, no, but you know, that's why I go to a facilitator, because they're the guide. And if they are guiding me into a deeper intention, it's because it's coming through them and that's what they're facilitating and that's what they're channeling. And that's why I go to them. And so I would say, okay, no, let's go deeper into that. And this is where sitting with someone who is well educated, well in their spirit, well in their work and in their medicine, you're going to get the most out of. And it is their job to hold that space for you. So whatever intention you come into that space with, it is the facilitator's job to hold that container, not to extract that expectation out of the ceremony. And not that I was experiencing that, but that's just something that came through right now. And so it feels very alive. And so I would go into these ceremonies, and I think the first couple times, which I think is a great intention, is just surrender to the medicine. Whatever comes up, comes up. And then that's what's beautiful about sitting 3 times is your first experience, I want to surrender to the medicine. And then whatever comes up in that, you go deeper in the next one, and then so on. Yeah, so I just surrendered to it. And then a lot of womb wounds came up, or experiences that involved my womb were unraveling. And so that's kind of what I started working with. And then down the line, you know, ceremonies just bring up shit. And even if you pass out during it, or even if you don't puke, or if you purge just clear, or if you pass out, it's like they're all showing you exactly what you need to see, to experience, even if you don't sit with it. And so what I experienced when I said I was going to sit and then I didn't sit, I experienced that my body was telling me not to sit, and I listened to that. And I didn't listen to my mind. I listened to my body, and that's a really big intention for me because my fucking 12th house Gemini mind likes to go insane and overanalyze and go crazy and have multiple personalities. And so listening to my body for once, wow, good job, Kambo. And then the last ceremony I had scheduled with a really amazing healer in Arizona, I I woke up, or I was tossing and turning all night with a stomach ache. I have not had something like that happen to me in fucking years, or I think ever. I thought I had food poisoning. I kept waking up and going to the toilet, like thinking I was gonna puke, and I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what are the odds that this happens out of my 29 years of life the day before my combo? I woke up that next day and I said, I can't sit. And that was a big deal for me because I felt like I was disappointing her. You know, I scheduled weeks in advance. I'm missing an appointment. I felt a lot of guilt, but my body was saying, do not sit. And I fucking stood up for myself. And that's sitting with the medicine. In a very abstract way, is I listened to my body once again. And I had to learn, or I was learning how to speak up for myself, even if I might disappoint that person, which, by the way, I didn't at all. They were completely understanding and full of love and gratitude that I even wanted to sit with them. But it was just the fact that I had those beliefs in the past that if I cancel because I'm sick, I'm going to make them mad or I'm going to disappoint them. And in reality, that's false too. And so I had the most ecstatic day after that because I got to nourish my stomach, which, by the way, as soon as I told her, well, actually, no, that was a lie. I was going to say as soon as I told her, my stomach bug went away, but it didn't. I just remember I couldn't really eat a lot that weekend, so I kind of was purging. I wasn't physically purging, but I wasn't eating a lot. And so I just was eating very little and kind of had to fast a little bit because my tummy was upset. I don't know what I ate. I seriously think it was an energy thing, you guys. It was all spiritual. It was a spiritual tummy ache. So there's that. So yeah, there's my journey with Kambo. I have sat 30 times. So if you are wanting someone who is experienced with it, come to me. And the reason I am now offering my services, because again, like I didn't go to training and become a facilitator right away. I went to training in 2023 and I continued to sit and build a relationship with the medicine, and I am now ready to serve. And I think I was waiting for a time that I did felt ready, and I'm realizing that there is no time you wake up and you feel ready. I've been told through ceremony, almost the last few times I've sat, I've been told by whoever's telling me, maybe it's the frog, I need to serve this and I'm ready. And it's just about building confidence, or maybe not even building confidence or finding anything, rather than stripping the identities that are telling me that I am not good enough to serve, or the limiting beliefs that are telling me that, who are you to serve medicine? You know? And that's what the medicine has shown me. And that's why I am so passionate about it, is because it is such a valuable vehicle for stripping the layers of those limiting beliefs or old stories or things that are no longer serving you, that are deep in your subconscious. A lot of things that have arose in my ceremonies have been subconscious things that I didn't even know I was aware of until, Kambo kind of takes that extra layer off. And if you look at it metaphysically, you literally are burning a layer of your skin. So the point, before you put the medicine on, you have to burn a layer of skin. It's just a little dot. And it really doesn't hurt. It's like for a second. The ones on your lower back hurt, let me tell you. Or on your forearm. Actually, no, those aren't that bad. But anyways, it's burning a layer of skin. So even that alone is like stripping the layers of skin that are no longer serving you. And you know what happens to your skin? It regenerates. And throughout the healing process, you build new skin and strong skin, and you're left with a scar. And that scar you fucking wear proud and loud. It's fucking warrior scars. I love tattoos. I absolutely admire them on others. I would love to have a boyfriend getting tattoos for me, because like I love tattoos, but I personally don't feel I will ever have a tattoo in this life. But burn marks, I'm like, that's fucking hot. I'm like, I am obsessed with my burn marks. I don't want them to go away. A lot of mine have healed, and I'm like, should I reburn them just for the aesthetic version? I just think there's something so beautiful about them. And also scars, like I love scarring. And there's like that aesthetic scarring. That's something I would do. Like I wouldn't get a tattoo, but I'd get scarred. Like I think that's hot. I don't know, there's something so primal and like natural about it. But anyways, back to Kambo. So yeah, you're burning a piece of skin, and so you're literally letting those layers go. And so if there's something to like round out what Kambo is for me, it is a purging, a stripping, a delayering of old identities that are no longer serving you. And if that is something that resonates with your soul, or you feel this call, just sit with it. Really sit with it and set that intention out there in silence. And if Kambo comes to you, or you find a facilitator that you resonate with, just be curious with it and ask questions and see how it feels, and sign the waiver. Definitely sign the waiver and talk to the practitioner or the facilitator and see if it's right for you, because there could be some limitations. Again, it's not medicine's not for everyone. It's I'll get into what ceremony looks like. So they're really quick. My ceremonies were always like 2 hours, because I'd sit and gossip and or have like an insane like shaking session after, in like a good way. Or we would just gossip pretty much. But really, ceremony should be less than 30 minutes. Like the second you sit down and you start drinking water, and you're in, you're out. It's different for everyone. I don't want to get too detailed in it. But, you arrive to the ceremony, you sit with a practitioner, you hopefully sign the waivers, you hopefully filled out an input. That's really important. If your facilitator doesn't ask you to fill out like an input, even if they're your best friend, like you should probably question. They need to know like what you're taking, what you're ingesting, what, follow dieta. Again, like respect the medicine. If it says don't eat meat, like don't eat meat. It doesn't say that, but some traditions and some lineages maybe, but in mine personally, like that's not it. But if it says don't drink caffeine, just sit with why don't you want to drink caffeine? Are you too fucking stubborn? Like respect. I know in Peru, they literally hand you coffee like after you sit. Like that's what I've heard. I haven't experienced that, but it's just different for everyone. Just take your precautions, talk with your facilitator. But yeah, so you show up and you sit and you talk about intention settings. And then as ceremony starts, I would say the start is when you light the incense that is going to be burning your skin. So there is fire involved that burns your skin. You have to lift the layer of epidermis off for the medicine to go through and run through your lymphatic system. And so these dots can happen on your leg or your arm. That's the beginning. And then when you get more in depth with the ceremonies, they can lead to your back for other placements. But if you're new, it's usually your ankles and your arms. And so you'll light the incense, set the intention. It could be different for everyone. This is just how I was trained and how I do ceremony. And then the client whoever is receiving Kambo, will drink 32 to 64 ounces of water until your tummy is full. And you are fasting, people. And the question I get asked the most, or the feedback I get asked the most or told the most is, I don't want to throw up. I'm scared of throwing up. Girl, I get it. I've had the flu and throwing up sucks, but this is not like a throwing up. Like, it's a purge, but your stomach is empty and all that's in it is water. So you're literally puking water. It is so enjoyable, I promise. Maybe not before, but when you're puking, it like feels amazing because it's just water, you guys. And this is coming from someone who didn't puke at all drinking ayahuasca. Like, it feels good, but your tummy gets really full of water. So you're like a balloon and you're full of water. And then they apply the medicine where they opened up the points. And I can leave the rest up to your imagination, but you do have feelings and sensations come up. Your heart rate starts to come up. You have your ceremony. It could last anywhere from 5 to 15, 20 minutes. You're sitting in this uncomfortable feeling. And then there comes a time where you feel nauseous and you throw up. You go bleh, bleh, puke, purge, bye, into the bucket. And you fucking light that sage or Palo Santo and you say bye. Bye, limiting beliefs. Bye, false accusations. Goodbye, daddy wounds. Sayonara. And so you puke and you feel so good. You feel better. You feel lighter. Your stomach is clear. Or you shit your pants. You poop sometimes. That's the best purge, in my opinion. Well, I've had stomach, quote unquote, issues. I've had stomach things my whole life. And so when I puke, I feel so much better. Or when I poop, I feel so much better. Both. It's great. You feel cleansed. And if you need help to the bathroom, like obviously that's what the facilitator is for. And so that's ceremony. And then after you drive home. You show up, you have ceremony, and you drive home. Like it is a one and done hour. You could get it done in an hour. I like to block out 2 hours, but you can really get it done in an hour. Like it's quick. And then you go home and you have a smoothie, or you eat something very light or nourishing. You drink bone broth and fresh juice, some electrolytes, some coconut water. Oh, that tastes so fucking good after Kambo with some salt in it, you guys. And then you just feel so high. You feel so good. You just feel really light. And if the sun's out and you're in Arizona, I'm just going back in time, baby. You just lay in that sun and it's like euphoria. Or it could be different. It's different for everyone. I've had ceremonies where I'm like, I just want to be by myself alone in a room, and that's great too. But add-ons to the ceremony, I was gonna say, if anyone ever offers you cacao before Kambo, you need to fire them. Like that, I feel like cacao is in like every breathwork sound bowl ceremony. Cacao and Kambo should not be in the same realm unless it's cacao after. Even then, cacao is not part of dieta, so no cacao and Kambo. Kakambo? That should be a fucking reel. If you like this, please text message Kakambo to 808-911. No. Anyways. Back to the story. So Kakambo, don't combine the two. But hape or rape, spelled rape, with a E, little apostrophe over the E or whatever the fuck that thing's called. You can do that before. I literally have only done rape one time out of the 30 times before ceremony. It was fucking awesome. I actually was served it while I was literally, the medicine was sitting on my skin. I got served hape and I had an amazing purge because I wasn't purging. And so I was served hape and it was a great purge after that. But I've been recommended it. I just personally don't. I just want to get Kambo. Like I don't want hape and Kambo, but some people do hape if they feel nervous or they want some grounding. So it's a great addition. They work hand in hand. There's always tobacco in my ceremonies, blowing tobacco. That is one of the facilitators during ceremony. Tobacco, smoke. There's so much magic behind it. I won't get too into it, but you're working with tobacco. You're working with Kambo. You're working with the rattles. Like you're working with the medicine. It's like, yes, the facilitator is facilitating, but they are just the vehicle for the medicine. And so obviously that's why you want to go to someone super trained and doing it out of goodness in their heart and not just for show, which I haven't really met anyone doing that anyways. So I don't really see that a lot with Kambo. Kambo's not one you just work with for show. It's not. But yeah, so tobacco's always there. And then Sananga. Y'all. Sananga is one of my new favorites too. Tobacco, Kambo, Sananga. That's me. That is, I want a candle with those scents. Like, Sananga is something you drop into the eyes, and it is the most excruciating pain you'll ever experience in your life. But again, it's like a cold plunge for your eyes, and it is the surrender medicine. And there's so many beautiful magical benefits. It's good for pineal gland detox. It is good for helping your eyesight, parasites in your eyes. It's magic. And that's a quick, again, super, super intense, but super, super quick. And so that is a great add-on. If you want all three, you do Hape, Kambo, Sananga. Or you can do Kambo, Sananga. I like that. I like Kambo, Sananga, or just Sananga on its own, tobacco and Sananga, or none. You don't need any of these. I'm just sharing my experience. Do you see what I'm doing? So that's pretty much it, people. I would love to talk more about Kambo with you. If you are interested, send me a message, send me an email, sadflowerswritten.com. And if you are curious and want a facilitator, let me know too. I have quite a bit of friends around the world who, even if you don't live in Boulder, I can refer you to someone or help you find someone who resonates with you and ask me all the questions, and or don't ever sit with the medicine ever. Genuinely, I don't care. Know your discernment. Know whether you want to sit or if you're feeling called. Like, do you want to sit because you're just hearing me talk about it, or do you feel called? And there is no right or wrong. Like, if you sit with it and you don't like it, like, don't do it again. But if you sit with it and you love it, that's great. I've done my job. And yeah, just know your truth. That's just what came through to me. Just know your truth. Okay? Is that cliche or what? This is my truth. And the truth is, I don't even know what the fuck truth is. What even is truth anymore? I don't know. But this is my Kambo truth. And I love frogs. Man, I love frogs. Call me the MILF. MILF of the hour. Should that be the podcast name? MILF of the hour? Man, I love frogs. Okay, well, again, I adore you. Thanks for being here. And if this resonates with you, leave a review. Do you like that? I'm a poet. So, yes. Okay, everyone. Have a great, beautiful, beautiful kambosita day. Okay? I adore you. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, one more thing. Thanks for being here. Okay, bye.